Hello and welcome to the audio commentary for Wild Wild Wales, my first ever film. And as you can see there, the VHS static has kind of been preserved there and I'm not really able to remove it, so this is how it's gonna go. Wild Wild Wales, there we go. It said an Adam Lloyd film, but it is most definitely a Luke Ryan film. Not to blow my own trumpet, but I'm actually quite proud of this film. Not for what it is, but for how I made it when I was 11 years old and used two VHS recorders, to edit and put music over it, and had to do well, I'll get to what other things I had to do, but I think I put a lot of effort into this, at such a young age. So I'm just kind of proud of that, really. But the actual film itself, nothing too special. But there you go. The titles here are actually filmed from my camera onto my PC screen back at home in Lark Hill. So I filmed these credits after I'd filmed the actual film itself back in Wales. I was visiting Wales on a summer holiday. I lived in England at the time. So back in England, got my PC up and running, and as you can see there, you can see like the centimeter ruling at the top of the WordPad program, which is a shame. And no tripod, just holding it there. Directed by Luke Ryan, that is true. So yeah, I just filmed it off the screen like this, and then put the music on afterwards using the audio dub function on my VHS-C camera. Jodie Lloyd was not in fact the costume designer, but I always loved the concept of credits, and I was almost more interested in making credits and producing credits and putting music over video, just because it felt like it was more of a film that way. I loved all that stuff, and I probably concentrate on that more than the actual film itself. The little things that make up the film experience, I guess. So this is the beach, the Penarth Beach. Filmed very shakily from my nan's window. This is definitely the worst part of the film, but it's basically it ripped off the Three Rascals film that my uncle made with me and my cousins the summer before, the summer of 1998. There's a part of that where we have to wait for the tide to go out, because we're on this little kind of quest, I suppose. We're following a map and the sea's in, so we have to wait for the sea to come out. So what he did was he just filmed parts of the sea from Penarth Beach as a kind of a splitter there to kind of segue into us coming back later on. So I just basically did that and thought, well, that's what you do in a film, is you just film the scenery and put music over it. Speaking of the music is interesting story behind it. The music is Do the Bartman, Simpsons song, sung by Nancy Cartwright as Bart Simpson. But this is the Bad Bart House remix, I believe, something like that. And I got this song on CD. My granddad, who worked all over there, where you can see, he worked as the groundskeeper of this area, and he found this CD up in the woods, mud all over it, scratched to hell, and he thought, maybe Luke will like this, so he brought it back and asked me if I was interested. I said it was, so he cleaned it up for me and it worked just fine, and then I thought, hey, I can use this song for the opening credits of my film. So that's where the music came from. It completely does not fit at all, but it fits with the time, I think, because I was such a huge Simpsons fan. At that time, there's a mop there, I don't know where that is, and now we're into the actual narrative, if you can even call it that. So there's me there, and you can just see my Auntie Heather there on the left, just slightly, and then someone just sitting behind me, just a general member of the public, because this was like a public area. And there we go, I got shot there. See Adam on the right there, he's playing the mystery gunman. He had the gun which had the little caps in it where you could press it and a little smoke would come out. So he really wanted to do that fall down the hill. If you listen here, that kind of intake of breath was done by me. I'd actually dubbed over the original audio by mistake, so I had to do my own Jodie moment of surprise, I guess. And try and sound a bit girlish. So here is the formation, the genesis of Dr. Hideous. We don't know what he was called before that, but he got shot in the face and put his head down in that kind of basin there, that kind of little pond thingy, and came up with his face disfigured. And of course it's just face paint, but I really wanted to play a bad guy. It was the whole reasoning behind Dr. Hideous. I wanted to be the one who could have an interesting role, really, because when us three played the Three Rascals the year before, you know, it was just, you know, very wooden kind of, oh, let's do this, and you know, the good guys, it's hard to play a good guy, whereas when you're a bad guy, at least you've got something to sink your teeth into. And this, again, just using the Mission Impossible theme, just completely kind of trying to find my way in terms of telling a, there's another ADR line there. That's the thing, I did ADR on my first ever film when I was 11, you know. I had to dub over Jodie's line again there. Look, there's a pal. That was a bit bad editing there, with waiting for them to run. And then they find me. So yeah, I was just trying to piece things together, and I thought, hey, music will make this little scene of them kind of trying to find Dr. Hideous more interesting. Again, this is not particularly well filmed, but you can at least hear me somewhat. Why Dr. Hideous is hanging out in a tree, I do not know, so do not ask me. And then this is again just another cheap rip-off of the Three Rascals, in which I threw a piece of paper at them, and it's a map. Only the Three Rascals had a bit of, production value to it, because it was, the map in the Three Rascals was actually, I believe, part of a brown envelope, which my uncle then used a lighter to kind of burn the edges of. This was just a piece of paper, you know. And again, within 2 seconds they need to look at the map again. So I'm just kind of trying to stretch things out a little here, and I'm just trying to, okay, well, let's stop here and have them look at the map and have them say something. Okay, let's have them stop here and talk about this. It's a lot of exposition, but you know, again, I didn't really know what I was doing. And here comes the idea that these two characters, Johnny and Xena, are supposed to be staying over their friend's house for the weekend, which means that they can stay out all night without their parents being none the wiser. Of course, we don't have anything in any night scenes in this, but you know, we just assume that they've gone to sleep, kind of thing. This is again just outside my nan's house. She only lived, her and my granddad, they lived on the top kind of flat area. The whole rest of the house was used for public functions and things like that, really. So we always had a nice kind of location to film stuff when we would get together for a few weeks in the summer every year at the time. Me and my two cousins, Adam and Jodie. And I like this line where Adam's like, beautiful sight, innit? And we kind of pan over to the god-awful, ugly concrete car park there. That kind of just was just a massive eyesore on Penarth Beach and is no longer there. So it's kind of cool to see that, even just as a kind of historical kind of reference, to see that that car park there. So there we go. Adam and Jodie just gone to sleep there, and they actually chose their point to sleep for the night just outside of Dr. Hideous's secret lair, which is nothing but a patch of you know, bushes and, you know, in amongst the trees and so on. So I like this. I like the mood that this little music track creates. It's actually just taped directly from the Independence Day VHS. A lot of the music at the beginning, actually, with the kind of the gun duel face-off thingy, that was also soundtrack from Independence Day, just recorded directly from the VHS tape that I had of Independence Day. But yeah, it kind of worked well there with the trees and the camera coming into the leaves and stuff. And of course, I have to give credit to my nan and my auntie Heather, who did most of the filming for these for this film, because obviously I'm on screen a lot of the time. And I'm sure if I'd been behind the camera the whole time, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as coherent as it is. This my nan helped me make the shoebox, which put a little calculator in there to kind of make it seem like a bomb, some wires my granddad had. It doesn't really work, really, but it's something, and I think it added to it. It's my awesome acting there, my evil laugh, and then I'm just behind those bushes there, just shaking them to. You see Adam look at the camera there. Let's go see what this is all about. So yeah, we spent a lot of time in that area by there, overlooking the beach and all around this place, really. So we knew all the places around and where to film and stuff, like up in that stone kind of building, which was used a lot in this. I really did enjoy playing the bad guy here, and it's a very realistic push there by Jodie that set me off my feet. So yeah, this is a bit. I think this is the end of the first day of filming. We didn't. I don't know if there was a shot of me knocking Adam down or Adam tripping or something, and me saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I was just playing around," and then I grab Jodie, and for some reason, me just grabbing her, just slightly touching her, makes her fall down, and then I've got them apparently. So I take them off like this, and then we cut to the day 2 of filming. And I remember when we quote unquote screened this when it was done. I remember everyone laughing, particularly my uncle, at that shot, because all of a sudden it's raining, and I say to kind of explain it, "Oh God, it's raining." It's just such an offhand comment, and yeah, it's pretty funny, I think. But that was exciting too, getting to screen the film and show everyone and stuff, and I was so happy with it and proud and all that kind of thing. And it was just fun to make my own film. That rope there was again provided by my granddad. He had some rope lying around, of course. For some reason it just cut to them being tied up like instantly, so again, bad editing and filming on my part, but this kind of monologue took a long time. I guess it didn't help that nothing was really written down, I don't think. I can't remember anyway. I mean, I came up with everything, the story and everything, and what to say, and I would literally direct it. But I mean, I had a very clear idea in my head at the time of how I wanted it to be, and that kind of monologue was kind of, you know, as I was going, I knew the gist of it, but I just kept kind of getting on a good roll with it, and then kind of stopping, and then saying something wrong, and then we'd laugh. There's a lot of outtakes of that scene, and in the end, I just kind of gave up and said, well, I'll use one of the takes, you know. Adam trying in vain to kind of free Jodie, even though that rope isn't holding them there at all. So at that point there, I get hit in the stomach, and my favourite line of the film, "Come back, you weak lizards." I don't know what I was thinking. Love this little outburst of anger there. This little scene I was really happy with because it had adults in it, so it made it again feel more, oh, this is a film. We got more characters than just us 3 kids. So we got my Auntie Heather there driving the car, delivering the shoe box with the bomb in it, and my nan as the woman who gives it to him. Simple as that, really. So again, and having a car involved, again, just made it feel cool. Like, oh, there's a car in this, you know. Like, yeah, it was all really fun to me. I really enjoyed it, and just making that film the year before with my uncle just really gave me the kind of urge to make one myself. You can see my nan walking in the background there. But I'm glad we continued with this, even though it was raining. I think I remember I was quite upset at the time because I thought, well, we can't film it now. But you know, my nan rallied behind the film. Was like, oh, we can do it. You know, we'll get a plastic bag. We'll put it over the camera. So that's what we did. We got a couple of plastic bags. We put them over the camera, and we carried on. We finished the film. So yeah, it was a 2-day film. A lot of fun, and yeah, I just love watching it back now. It's a lot of memories and just seeing the kind of bad editing and stuff. And of course, this is the original cut. I haven't done anything to this, and there is going to be a 2013 cut. This is when I'm recording this commentary, 2013. So yeah, this is the original cut, and I really was frustrated with this scene because it never turned out how I wanted. I like how that looks. That looks like an actual bullet wound. But the editing, I just wasn't too proficient with editing yet, and especially when you're doing it with 2 VHS players, it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be as concise as you want. So yeah, a lot of tomato ketchup used that day, and of course, takes more than that to kill me. That was my way of being the bad guy, getting killed at the end and still living because I wanted to be cool, I guess. And here in the end credits, we have the cast listing, and not even like the actual song from Rocky, but just literally just taking it straight from the VHS of Rocky training. You can hear in the background people cheering Rocky on and stuff. So really, really low production value on this. Directed by Luke Ryan. There you go. Yeah. So Wild Wild Whale, the title, I guess I didn't even talk about that really, but the title was of course a takeoff of Wild Wild West. Loved Will Smith movies at the time, and that was the title I gave it. There was no real relation to the plot really, and the plot was as basic as you can get. So yeah. I'm gonna try to think if there's anything else I can add. But yeah, just the editing in that final scene I think really bothered me, and there's not much I could do with it. But back then, I mean, you just throw something together and you're just like, you know, wow, I just, you know, took 2 clips and made them into 1 clip, and that enough satisfies you. But I did, even back then I was like, that ending could have been a bit better in terms of the editing of it and the cutting. But yeah, I always look fondly back on this. I'm so glad I was able to salvage the VHS tape and capture it onto the computer and be able to do this audio commentary. And yeah. Face paints, of course. Yeah, I love that as well, getting the face paint put on. It just felt like, yeah, this is again just another, we're making a film, you know, and little things like that always set it apart for me. As opposed to just kids running around with the camera, there was actually some kind of, again, not to come back to it, but production value, I guess. This credit is really lingering on face paints. I think this is me again trying to stretch it out and make the film a bit longer. I was always obsessed with like running time and stuff, and I always wanted to make the film as long as possible, you know, because it just kind of impressed me at the time. So, yeah, there we go.